Hey, welcome to another episode of On the Rocks. I'm one of your hosts, Josh Fedie. The other host, Jared Greenison, well, he's MIA right now. He dipped off to record a podcast or something. As you can see, the chair next to me is completely empty. But you know, the show must go on. And that's partly where we got our name as well, On the Rocks, right? So, you know, this is startup. Startup is sometimes on the rocks. Regardless, it was an absolutely incredible week, and we're excited to be able to be back bringing you new episodes of On the Rocks. We had to take a little bit of a break because of COVID, and Jared and I, we've kind of created our own little pod now, so we're not really visiting with many people outside of our immediate group, but we've made our own little pod here so that me and him can come in and make some content together and run this business the way we need to run the business. So I hope everybody's getting through this as best they can. At the tail end of this episode, we're going to be announcing a really fun little idea that we had that we're just going to run with and see what happens, basically. So make sure to tune in all the way to the end to be alerted to that new thing that's going to be happening with Sales Reach. But first, to kick things off, we wanted to introduce everybody to our newest podcast. It's called the Buyer Enablement Podcast, and we're going to be reaching out to some of the people that we admire most across the entire world, honestly. We just booked our first guest all the way over in England, so we're excited about that one down the road. But our first guest was Todd Hockenberry, who many of you, if you follow other content that we put together, know very well. He was the author of Inbound Organization, co-written with a good friend of ours, Dan Tyre. I couldn't have been any more excited to kick off this first season with Todd. He truly does live and breathe this whole buyer enable movement. You're going to learn a ton from him in the full podcast, but here's a short little clip for you. The reps that are winning today, what are those traits they have?
You know, this is going to sound so squishy, but empathy, right? The ability to put yourself in somebody else's shoes.
Yeah.
And again, in the old days, 4 months ago, you could walk into somebody's office and be a salesperson. And again, I know software and a lot of SaaS products are all online. So I grew up I drove around the country and made sales calls and got on planes. Right, that's how I grew up. And you could kind of get those meetings based on your product, based on the lack of information. And I think in the last 4 months, you can't do that, right? I'll even say it's this simply, right? If somebody's called you and said, "How can I help you?" Does that sound empathetic?
No.
Well, a lot of people would say it is, but
Wow.
I agree, you're right. It's not empathetic. It's lazy.
Yeah, it's too easy.
It's lazy because you're saying, "How can I help you?" You tell me what I can do to help you.
Yeah.
An empathetic person's going to know. They're going to understand and know before they make that call.
All right, so the next thing that I was really excited about, one of my bucket item lists, honestly, for the longest time, has been to be on the Schmidt List Podcast. Jared, I've told you about that before, right? Yeah, he's still not here. Don't worry about it. I'm going to keep rolling with this one. Kurt Schmidt, he reached out to me because he needed someone that understood how to use cameras. He's really scraping the bottom of the barrel, and he finally allowed me to be on. After 2 years of knowing this man, I finally got to be on this show. I hope that I brought a lot of value to his audience. I felt like it went really well. It's always stressful when you go live on YouTube because if you screw up, there's nothing you can do, and YouTube does this clever thing where they save it forever. It's automatically published the second you're done. So if you screw up, it's not just to a live audience, it's to everyone that listens to it moving forward. So regardless, it was a lot of fun talking to Kurt. If you don't know about the Schmidt List Podcast, I can't recommend it enough. When I was working with Kurt at Foundry, I saw countless incredible guests coming into his studio recording episodes. If you're looking to truly learn, this is a good podcast for learning. He brings in people on product development, ideation, innovation, project management, marketing, all the things. Learn a lot, tune in. But here's a little clip from the episode that I did with Kurt.
So back to the salesperson, the poor trotted upon salesperson is, they like to imagine themselves cold, shivering out by themselves, trying to, hold their hand out to get the next deal.
Alms for the poor.
Alms for the poor.
Yeah.
Yes. But I appreciate it because, I mean, again, like a VP of sales once told me, like, how would you like a job where 90% of your day is being told no, thank you? It's not a super thankful job, and the lows are you're beat up, and the highs you're hardly recognized. So I get it, but that's why I feel like sometimes salespeople are the hardest to change when it comes to their processes and things, right? So Salesforce, right? People always ask me all the time, like, how did Salesforce become this monstrous company? And and I'm like, it's not because the salespeople wanted it. It's because the sales leadership was like, what the hell are these people doing? And I need to keep track of this. And so those decision makers were deeper pockets, made this company what it is today. So going back to that enabling, right? So back to your idea about buyer enablement and then the idea about sales enablement. What do you say to these salespeople, maybe that are, again, like you said, you talked about that president getting on video. Maybe they're not comfortable with it, or they're like, well, my tactics are working, so why try this new thing? I mean, again, obviously, like you said, get out of your own way. But like, how do you coach salespeople in using this product, not just those decision makers?
Yeah. So, and I don't know if this is the best way to do it, but this is the way I do it. Salesforce became Salesforce because Salesforce created a product that became the gold standard. Salespeople hate Salesforce. They still hate CRMs. It's not a Salesforce issue. Salespeople hate CRMs. Mm-hmm. There isn't a CRM on the market that a salesperson's like, hell yeah, I want to wear their shirt every
put
day.
That on my phone and my tablet and my computer. Yeah, let's do it.
But it became the gold standard. You can't be a company today and not have a CRM of some form.
Yeah,
and
even if it's just a spreadsheet, right? You got to have something.
You have to have something, and Salesforce appeals to large organizations with large sales teams. Other CRMs like Copper or HubSpot. HubSpot is typically a marketing CRM, but smaller companies use it for their sales CRM as well. Bigger companies use HubSpot and CRM together, whatever. But they became a product that became a necessity. And so to become a product that becomes a necessity in a company, what you need is adoption. And so when I'm selling my product, I don't try to land deals with the entire sales team on day one. Because what I know will happen if that happens, let's say I'm talking to a company with 100 sales reps, and I say, great, I'm going to give you a deal for 100 sales reps to license my software every single month. Great, let's go. The adoption of that to those 100 sales reps is going to be insanely low. They're going to regret their purchase almost immediately, and that customer is going to churn. So what I instead do is I say, based on what you know about this product, who are the people working within the walls of this company that are savvy enough, hungry enough to learn a product like this and make this part of their process? Because even if it's only 10 people at a 100-person sales team, if those 10 people embrace it, make it part of their day-to-day, see wins, and start selling better than the other people in their organization, those people will see the success. Because we sit in the sales room every day, right? Here's the leaderboard. Oh, Bill and Betty are on the top of the board again. Oh, they're using sales reach. It must be working. Those other people that didn't want to embrace it right away, they're going to start going, well, this isn't fair. I've literally heard sales reps say, they have called me directly off my website. This isn't fair. Only part of my team has this and I want it. Well, go advocate for yourself. Go tell your sales manager that you want it as well, because what we're doing is piloting it and we need to know who's going to use it. Yep. Right? But you need to get those early users. That's how you become a necessary tool.
Yeah, and it's funny you mentioned that because it harkens back to something I did, a very long time ago when I had a bike company when I was 20 years old. And when we started our bike company, we went around to different racetracks, different skate parks, different places, and we found the best unsponsored riders and gave them a free frame and fork. And we're like, here you go. And we didn't sponsor them or anything. We just gave them the bike, which, wasn't cheap at the time. But what it did is exactly what you're talking about is people would start to notice, what are those people riding that are so good? Hey, are you sponsored? But no, but I got this free bike from this, and it exploded. The company grew really fast based on that thing. So to your point exactly, if you can find sort of those people that can be the pace car, right, in the organization, and people are like, well, what are they doing over there that's making them so successful, right?
Yep, absolutely. I mean, this is why I went to great expense to purchase a ton of Sales Reach t-shirts to give out to those early adopters that were becoming evangelists of the software. Because I'm not kidding. When there were events before COVID, like on the weekends in Minnesota, when we could go to the farmers market together and we could go to concerts and stuff,
Yep.
People were constantly sending me pictures. I just spotted another Sales Reach shirt, right? When people fall in love with something, especially with a sales solution, it's easy to fall in love with a sales tech product because it's making you money. This product helped me make more money. So of course you're going to love it. And of course you're going to
It's funny you say that, because I was just thinking of Salesforce t-shirts, but the only people I ever see wear Salesforce t-shirts are people that work for Salesforce.
Yes, you will see them at Dreamforce on the showroom floor.
All right, and as per usual, as you know, I typically don't let Jared talk too much, but I wanted to give Jared a quick moment to discuss the next piece. Jared? Yeah, he's still not here. That's fine. We don't need him. Here we go. This is the third piece. This is the part that I wanted you to tune in for. This is a fun little thing that we're going to be doing. We've set up a hotline. What is this hotline? Sales is hard, am I right? That's why we started the brand new newsletter from Sales Reach called, you guessed it, The Enabler. Why not? It's very on brand. Why not? But what we're doing is something that I'm really excited about. We've started a hotline. Because sometimes in sales, you just need somebody to celebrate the wins or to just complain about the losses, and you don't have that person right next to you, and you don't want to bring that negative energy into the office. So here's what we've done. We've set up a phone number. Are you ready for that number? It is 612-368-9856. I'll put that in the comments on this post as well, so you have the phone number. But that's the number. That's the hotline. When you call that number, you're going to hear a little message from me. Here it goes.
Hi, this is Josh Fedie at Sales Reach. You have reached the hotline for the Enabler. If you would like to leave a tip, a fail, a rant, or a win that you'd like to have featured in the Enabler newsletter, please leave your message here. We will transcribe it and we will share with our audience. Looking forward to hearing what you got to say.
That's it. It's just that simple. You can also text that number as well. We'll take any comment or anything in any way it comes. Look, if we get a whole bunch of spammers, it's fine. It's a throwaway number. This is all it's for. So send whatever you want to. Celebrate those wins. Complain to us about those losses. Whatever you want. If you have any actionable tips for other sales professionals or customer service professionals or anyone in onboarding and training, any tips to help them do better, we want to share those as well. So send whatever you want, whenever you want. All right, looking forward to hearing from you. All right, so as you can see, it's been a busy week here at Sales Reach. We've had a lot of activity going on. Jared is still in the process of recording his podcast. I'm sure we'll make that a feature in the next On the Rocks. But as always, I'm just thrilled that you tuned in, that you're willing to lend us your ear, give us a little bit of time. Make sure to go to the Sales Reach website. We'd love to have you sign up for our new newsletter, again, called The Enabler. It's part of the last clip you just saw. We're going to be sending you bite-sized tips and tricks about sales to help you move the needle forward. It's not all going to be about buyer enablement. It might be about sales enablement. It might be about working better with your marketing team or working better with your customer success team. You know how much we love customer success people. So we'll be involving them in some of the topics as well. But make sure to sign up for that newsletter if you'd like to get that sent right to you. All right, thanks again for tuning in to On the Rocks. Hopefully this one was okay. I know Jared didn't bring as much to this one as maybe he wanted to. Did you want to say any parting words? Yeah, he's still not here. Don't worry about it. We'll bring him in on the next one. All right, have a great weekend, everyone. Bye.